Hi all and welcome back to my Let's Play of Morrowind. I believe this is episode 34 if my uploading skills are to be dependent on, which I'm not sure if they are, but there we go. I've made it across to the camp where we need to go. Instead of, we need to do the obligatory screenshot. I think we'll try and do one that's like all muddy like this. There's so many like really evocative screens that you can take in this game. I'm slowly learning. Especially like having made an effort to get rid of menus and like going back through the ones I've looked at, I'm like, yeah, damn, I'm happy with these screenshots. I mean, just framing it off like that. It'd be kind of a cool game to have a camera in it. Anyway, we need to talk to someone. Talk. You want to speak to Sulmatul. You want to speak to Nibani Mesa. Have they sent for you? Yes. I have not heard of this, so go and find someone other who has. Some yurts. Can't find the one we need. We're actually exploring the north as well now. We just need to get like along the coast. Who else have we got here?
You waste your time. Go away.
Talk. Okay, you're not the person I want to be speaking to. No, I've not heard of this. Go find someone who has. Wise woman. Oh, this is the thing we have to do for the what's it called, isn't it? You're unclean, get away from me and go and get cured and stay away. Okay, let's deal with that. What have we got? Yellow tick. That doesn't sound too bad. Generic potion of cure all disease. Sounds like it will do the job for us. Or cure common disease. Yeah. Will you say you are deaf or stupid or rude? How do I explain how I have told you? You're in the wrong place. I told you to leave, but you are still here. Still barter with me. I'm not going to get into spell making. Arranging a meeting. No. Okay. Okay. The Urshilaku are Ashlanders in the northern Ashland, west of the Gash. I am the wise woman, and Sulmatul is our chief, a brave and respectable war leader and warrior protector of the Nervarine cult. Right. I'm guessing like some of these more constructed houses is probably where he's going to be. I say that, but I can't see a way of getting in there. The music changed. I'm not sure if we're in combat or not. I was expecting to see, the house of the person I needed, but no. Let's speak to him. Talk. Yes. No. I think we might just not be liked, to be honest, people.
You can already tell.
We might just not want to be dealt with for whatever reason. You. So you want to speak to Sulmatul and Nibani Mesa. I doubt that is possible. You are an outlander and have no permission to speak with them. You cannot risk offending them. I suggest you speak with Gulakan Zabamund. His yurt is just across from mine. With a recommendation from a sub-chief like Zabamund, Sulmatul might be worth speaking to you. Thank you. Do you have anything I want to buy? We are still in the market for a better combat weapon, but we'll wait to see how that goes. I mean, let's just repair through. I've just spent 400 gold on repairing, but we are money rich at the moment. Hello. Talk. Yes. No. If you say you're the one from the opposite, did I just pick up the wrong name? Zanamu, Ashkan, Zabmund. That was it, wasn't it? Hello. Talk. Speak with respect and I will listen. Sulmatul will not talk to you. Nibani Mesa will not talk to you. You have no standing amongst us. It is our custom. Among strangers, we honour this custom with gold. Thank you. Neverine prophecies. Okay. The Neverine prophecies are not for Outlanders. Why should Silmatil and Nabani Mesa speak to you about these things? Who are you and what that we should trust you? Offer to fight a duel to the death? Boast of my worthy deeds, demand right? Tell all I've learned of the Sixth Health and Neverine and ask humbly to speak? Offer to pay tribute. Now they've said that a customary gift of gold, so we could see it as a gift by giving the gold just straight up. Duel to the death sounds fun. I imagine some of these we're just going to get turned right down for, so let's try the gold. Yes, a gift of 200 gold coins. That is earnest proof of your respect. Yes, I believe you should speak to our Asher Khan. Perhaps he will be angry with me, but I think I can bear it. Go to the Asher Khan's yurt and speak with Silmatil. Ask him your questions and tell him I have sent you. Just bribe our way to the top, why not? Seems to be working so far. I love this little detail of putting their hands across their eyes. It's the small things that count, definitely. So we're looking for the Asher Khans. I'm fairly sure I remember reading that, but my memory's not what it used to be. Sharas. Is it these guys? Are they trying to start on me? From the side, they often look like that they are multiple of them, which is clearly not the case. Yen. God, are we really going to have to check every single tent every time we want to go to somewhere? Melees, Zabamund, Asher Khans. Okay. Oh, you know he's magic. You know, with the glow and all that. God, save 99. We're already at this stage. I mean, it doesn't say too much. I do save, well, on average 3 times an episode, thereabouts. So, my champion Zabamund has sent you to talk with me about the Neverine prophecies. Then go ahead, Maribo, talk. I'm very curious. You think you fulfill the Neverine prophecies. You wish to be tested to see if you are the Neverine. No Outlander may join the Neverine cult. If you were a clan friend, an adopted member of the Ashlander tribes, then perhaps I have an initiation rite in mind. If you pass this rite, I will adopt you as a clan friend of the Ashlanders, and then I will submit you to Nabani Mesa, our wise woman, who is skilled in oracles and mysteries, and who will test you against the prophecies. Initiation rite. To be adopted into the tribe, you must undergo a harrowing. In a harrowing, you will be judged by the spirits and ancestors to see if you are worthy. Go to Urshilaku burial grounds and fetch me Sul Senipal's bone-biter bow. Sul Senipal was my father, and his spirit gods, his bone mould longbow deep in the burial caverns. Return to me with this bow, and I will adopt you into the Ashlander tribes as clan friend. To be honest, this writing here, it feels about as flavoursome as a mission writing would get. Obviously, you're getting me deliver it to you instead of actual in-game voice actors who are paid professionals, but you know. The burial caverns lie to the southeast of the camp. The north-facing door on a little hill halfway between us and the slopes of the Red Mountain. Go north from the camp to the water, then turn east. At a rock cairn on the beach, turn and head straight south until you find a door. The spirits of our ancestors guard the caverns. They will attack and they will kill you if they can. Force your way past them or evade them. Get the bow and return to prove your worthiness. I'm just seeing if there's anything else they want us to talk about. Or we can talk about, I mean. They love gold, don't they? Can't say I blame them. Must be important to sort of gain supplies out here. We only gone and leveled up. What level are we now? 16. We're getting there. Oh, we can't rest. Let's head to the northern water. Oh, to be honest, the reason I came out here to wait time is just so we can get some brighter screens for you guys. I've not quite figured out how to keep the screen brightness up, so you have to deal with that sometimes. Once we hit the water, we are to head east, which is this away. And then we shall take this level up. Here we go. So, I think it's this, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's the way to go. There we go, that's all the level up's done. Apple and cranberry tea this evening. God, recording in this evening is pleasant when it's been this nice and sunny outside. I'm quite enjoying it. How is everyone today anyway? I'm okay. Got the news today that going back to work soon, which is not bad news. It just might mean that we are not able to produce quite as many videos. That being said, I am only going back part-time for now, so hopefully production should stay at the same amount. That is the plan for this second, but if a certain point comes in where we have to turn around and change that, then we will. I mean, we needed to level up the strength like ages ago. I've had this exact same problem in Prey, like literally today. Like for ages, like one of the gameplay loops in Prey is you sort of, I'm forgetting to use my magic again. You will sweep through an area. I don't know why this indicates an area, but you sweep through an area and you like gather all the loot and the stuff there. You know, the stuff that's going to help you. Oh, we're back here. Well done, me. The stuff that's going to help you progress and level up, and you know, materials, etc., etc. And it's got a heavy survival element, so that it's very central to the gameplay. So I will go for an area and gather everything, just absolutely hoover everything up, which I don't think is completely unusual, and use what is known as a recycler to turn it all into base goods so I can carry more of it in my inventory. And I'm probably 15 to 20 hours in now, and I'm just discovering like my inventory space is such a premium that I'll be going through areas and returning to recyclers like 3, 4, 5 times just to get like all of the items hoovered up. And it's just such a bad gameplay loop for me. It's so annoying and not fun. And I thought, you know, this is my one big criticism of this game. Everything else from it I think is absolutely phenomenal. It makes me super excited about playing their new game, Deathloop, which looks ace. So I had all this in my mind and didn't even click that actually the thing I can do is use the leveling up system to increase my inventory space. And now it actually makes sense. Like the amount, like for one area, it would be one return to a recycler, which is about works, you know. That makes sense. That's what you want to do. You want to get through the area, and maybe one trip back, but you want to get through the area and actually get all your loot and get out. You know, not having to dip home every 5 seconds. So yeah. Something that I was about to heavily blame the game for, it was just completely my fault. Which, there's no shock there. It's just nice to actually realise that before getting to like the end of the game and being like writing something critical about it and releasing it on the line to be absolutely trashed. I mean, I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't actually put some level of the research in. I'm still using what is a suboptimal spell here. We probably are not a million miles away. I mean, where are we at with destruction? I don't think we're as good as we think. 37. So we're leveling up pretty nicely, actually. But I don't think we're at the stage where we can start getting like the nice, good explosive spells. But I think we will be wanting to look into that relatively soon. I actually don't know how the leveling spells works. I'm just making guesses based on other games where, you know, for a better fire spell you might be looking at level 50. Those rules could not apply, so, you know, I'll take myself with a pinch of salt there. Can we sort of parkour our way around up here? Yeah. Yeah, that's been my day today. I've actually got, like, the last 2 days, I've actually managed to really get a good chunk of Prey played, and I think it's so far my favourite arcane game. And I wonder, it made me wonder, because obviously we've covered Dishonored heavily on the channel, with quite a bit more to come actually. And one of the feelings I felt coming through it was, yes, I'm really enjoying this, but there's just something missing. And I wonder if it's just a level of freshness. Like, I played those games a fair bit before, so I wonder if I was just not experiencing new things. I was replaying stuff that I played before, therefore getting similar experiences. And I've made videos on one of the reasons I really enjoy playing games is new experiences. So like actually coming to Prey, and even though I knew generally what it's about, it's actually been surprising at every turn. I wonder if the story's going to stick the landing. I think I'm actually at the stage where I can get one of the first endings, which is a bad ending, which you can get really quickly. I assume it's a bad ending. You never get the first ending and it be the good ending, although that'll be subversive if so. But so I'm going to grab that just for the cutscene and then dip out because it's not the ending that I want in it. But yeah, it like the game has flaws, but it has made me infinitely more excited to be playing. How much money is that worth? Light? I didn't even know light was an effect. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on my jumps. Yeah, it makes me so much more excited for Deathloop, which looks ace. Obligatory. That's a cool photo pose. Done. There we go. Give me my menus back. So we came from that way, didn't we? So there's up there, or there's down there. So let's go this way first. This seems Dead Adventurer. I'll take that. More magic weapons aren't terrible. Yeah, it just makes me excited. Especially like something that the trailer for Deathloop is indicating is that potentially it seems to me that it's stepping away from some of the moral judgment thingies, like the chaos system, or staying stepped away from it, which has been such a relief in Prey. Like there's just to give a bit of a heads up, like there's a mission in Prey, it's in the crew quarters, and genuinely I think is one of the best missions I've played in a long time. It's not even a mission, it's just an area more than anything. But you basically pick up on this relationship developing between two of the characters that I think on first pass, like I didn't go too in depth, but by the end of it I was like invested and like enjoyed what was going on between these characters. I'd have to probably look at it again to make sure that it's... I just had a sudden thought that there might be some issues with power dynamics in it. But anyway, like, who am I to say? It seems like this really cool relationship and I came out of it really enjoying it. And you basically get to the end and discover one of them's been killed by a cannibal and put in some strange meat packaging, which I actually realised before the game told me. And I'd knocked him out because I was like, well, you seem dodgy, but I'm not going to be the arbiter of your life and death. But the one part of this couple turned around and said, well, actually, no, can you kill him, please? He's taken away the one I love, and I'm going to drift off into space and die, but if you could kill him, that'd be great. So I did. Mean, I know, but it was a good moment in the game where it pulled on my emotional strings and actually sort of made me change my mind from what I was potentially going to do. Which, if a game's going to do that, is good. Or it's at least doing something interesting, you know. But yeah, watching the Deathloop trailer, it seems good. I'll always be interested in what Arcane does unless they monumentally mess up at some point in the future. And like all companies do that. Like I've gone through my life enough to go, you know that these are companies. And I've gone through it enough to know I've been stung before, you know. There were times where I probably considered like, oh, I will enjoy every one of this game or that game, and then fallen off. I mean, Elder Scrolls is actually one of those series for me, or Bethesda games. I think at some stage I probably would have classed Fallout 3 as one of my favourite games of all time, and then Fallout 4, I really did not enjoy it. And it's something that maybe I will end up covering on this channel because we are currently in Bethesda Game Central. He says playing through Morrowind, and I do plan on doing more. So perhaps we'll get there, and perhaps we'll see if I was right in my supposition. Is that the right word? I was right in thinking that game was bad. It just did things which I thought stepped away from what made those games cool and interesting. and also we just got the fifth iteration, sixth, I think, technically, including some of the side games, iteration of the same sort of American wasteland with the same politics in it. And I think what would have been really smart would be to actually update that to a different country and see how the war affected a different country and see what rhetoric was behind different countries' involvement in the war. Whereas just, yeah, we can't kill the ghost. Just revisiting that sort of American imperialist and anti-nuclear story. It's not even that. I actually like that story. You know, keep exploring that. Or I think I like it anyway. It's been a while since I've been back for it. But what I do think is missing is like, I think one of the strongest things that Fallout did was a sense of place. For me, that was Fallout 3. Playing through it, I thought it was an incredibly interesting area, and I loved exploring it. Whether that holds up today, I don't know. But to revisit that same sense of place and to like hit those same notes of like the Mr. Gutsies and same robots, same gun types. It's just so note for note the same, just with improved graphics. And they don't, from my memory, they don't choose to explore the space in a different way. It's just like hitting those notes again. And I might be wrong on that. There might be other failings in it that I'm missing, but like that's just off the top of my head a game from what, like 3-4 years ago now? God no, that game came out when I got my PC, which was 5 years ago. So the hottest of takes here. I know. I'm super like, it's the problem with like developing as a human being, is that you have to, not have to, but it can sometimes be wise to revisit some of the things that got you to where you are. Because like I think to myself, oh, you know, Blackadder, that was a fundamental piece of comedy that was key to my upbringing and something I really, really enjoyed. And like, is it actually any good? The last time I watched that was probably over 10 years ago. And I've changed so much as a human being in that space of time that for me to actually say if it was any good, I probably need to go back and rewatch it. And I'm finding that over and over again with a lot of things. It's why I'm so excited to play Oblivion, because it's such a cornerstone. And I can imagine that there's like some components of it that like are really interesting to this day. And look forward to go back and see those. But I imagine there's going to be some absolute massive flaws in there as well. I mean, there is some reason why those games did well. They picked up a following, of which I was one of for a while. What's that down there? See, that's worth a lot of money. We'll take that. Is it actually... I keep pressing I for inventory because I've been playing the game with that. Drug Curious. 6, that's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, 50. We're in a league of our own with the armour. I do think it's not a million miles off time to change armour as well, because we've run the same set for most of the game now. Oh, there's a lot of enemies here. Okay, we're going to switch to the bow. When it's this many enemies, we want to be like actually swapping around. Yeah, I think last time I tried to play Oblivion, how long ago was it? I think I must have been 18, 19 was the last big time I played it. The last time I tried to play it just a tiny bit, I like drew my bow back like this, and I was like, oh, I can't unnock my arrow, so I have to shoot it at the floor. And because that's a game that tracks those sort of things, it's like, okay, I need to shoot the arrow at the floor and remember to pick it up, because we don't want to lose all our arrows. So yeah, it was just a small inconsistencies. I think I must have played Skyrim at that stage, because I think Skyrim lets you unlock your arrows. Oh, have I looked in this chest or not? Because it hasn't got a... Ooh. Yeah, boy. 6 to 9. Okay. Let's just like equip it for a second. I thought it was going to be like immediately better than what we were using, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, take your master lockpick though. That is good for us. I find glass, me and my mate used to joke about this, glass is such a weird inclusion as like a weapon or armor type in these games, because it's like usually high level stuff, it's like usually 2 or 3 from the top, but it's glass. And I think there might be something else insinuated there or something else going on. It's not just glass. It might be. There probably is like some weird medieval or historical, it probably won't even be weird, but some part of history that used glass in a certain way. I mean, obsidian's technically a glass, isn't it? But yeah, so that's probably where it comes from, or some connection to that. But we always used to joke, wearing a big cuirass of glass and just being shot and it just immediately shattering and going all over the floor. It's a comical thing to imagine. Oh no. Oh, come on, game. Is it a height thing? Okay, we're through. I think with that, let's save. But yeah, I'm not getting to play my mill sims at the moment, really. I mean, I'm recording these. I think I said this last session, but it is what it is. I'm recording these, but there's something about shouting contact or military adjacent terminology. Like there's an MRAP over there whilst being in someone else's house who aren't involved with games or like this world at all. It becomes harder to explain somewhat. It is what it is. And perhaps there's just an element of me that needs to not be embarrassed by these things. But then again, I won't get full enjoyment. I don't think I would be continuing with this series if I hadn't uploaded so frequently up to this stage either, But because I have, there is an element I'd be more willing to take a 1.5 week break if we were 3 days into this project than being a month in. I've done YouTube before, but I've never managed to do a video every day for over a month. And it gets to that part of you where you're just like, okay, how long can we go? Hello? Okay. Oh, what? I thought they were both dead. There's some weird stuff going on here. Yeah, it's like, oh, how long can we go? Can we make it 2 months? I think my next aim, I don't want to push it too far because at the end of the day, life goes on at times. I need to be realistic and accept that if needs be, this is a project that can go not onto a back burner, but can go less regular. I need that for my own sanity, to be honest. But for now, I think my next sort of aim is, let's see if we can do every day for 3 months. And I think if we can make that'll be a moment to take a bit of a break. I suppose this is how people get locked into, bad working habits where they feel like they have to do things for the sake of it. That's always been my problem with making videos for YouTube in the past, is you just get to a point where it's like, does it really matter if I don't upload? No one's going to notice apart from me. But I suppose doing it for yourself then helps you push forward. Do you know what? I'm struggling to jump up here. I'm not even 100% sure there is anything up here. Let's see if we can just hammer the jump button. Not doing the job. Okay. I think this is the moment to leave it. Pardon me. We've done a good explore, and that should be enough for us to move on to the next session in next episode. I'm butchering this hard. Thank you for watching. My name's been Billy. If you could do the usuals, like, comment and subscribe, it's valuable and I'd be very appreciative. I probably shouldn't have that menu up, I tend to do that after, but there we go. Thank you. Goodbye.